The judo community in the Western Cape is an active and vibrant part of the sporting firmament in the area. One of the year's big events took place recently in Belhar. The chairman of the Cape Town Judo Association, Alex Glassen, tells us what it's all about.
We're at the Belhar Sports Centre. This is the Cape Town Judo Association trial for the team to go to the South African Championships, which are being held in Thunderbell Park in the middle of the year.
Judo has a strong following in the Western Cape, with the participants competing at club level across a number of diverse regions. So just how strong is judo in the Western Cape?
In the Western Province or Western Cape area, we've got 4 different districts. Right now we're here in the Cape Town district. We have roughly around 500 registered members. There are quite a lot more people who do judo who are not registered in the district, but our official membership base is around 500 members. We have 4 competitions a year, and then every year there are the South African Championships as well, which we send a team to.
Judo has been part of the Olympic program since 1964. The last local judoka to attend the Games was Commonwealth Games gold medalist Zach Piontek, who went to the Rio Olympics in 2016. So how does South Africa stack up against the top judo nations in the world, such as France?
So judo is still quite small in South Africa. It's still a developing sport, and we're actively trying to grow the sport here. Compared to a country like France, we are very small. As an example, in France, they have 660,000 registered judoka, and it's their second largest sport after football. So we're much smaller than that.
The future of the sport of judo in the Western Cape is the young girls and boys of the various communities. But their involvement in judo has benefits way beyond what happens on the mat.
Development is a big focus of what we are doing, and the way that you develop a sport is by producing more coaches, opening more clubs, and then bringing more people into the sport to actually practice it. So that is a strong focus of what we're doing in Cape Town Judo Association at the moment, and we have a very strong focus now on trying to increase our membership base and grow the sport. I think it's important to note that the benefit of doing judo is not just a sport, but it's an educational system, and the benefit to especially kids doing judo is that they learn discipline, cooperation.
Judo is a very inclusive sport, with fights taking place between judoka of similar weights. Of course, the younger they start, the better chance they have of advancing quickly. At the championships in Belhar, there were competitors aged 7. So what would be a suitable age to introduce children to judo?
So probably the starting age for kids would be around the age of 6, and then the sport is when you're competing, it's broken up by ages and weights. So you fight against somebody in a similar age and in the same weight group as yourself. From the age of 20, you then fight in seniors. And then once you are kind of past your prime, you then get to fight in masters. So that's age groups from 30 to 34, 35 to 39, and so on, right up to people fighting in their 60s.
Like many similar martial arts, there are a number of styles and facets to judo. Coaching Education Director of Judo South Africa, Gert Goos, gives us the lowdown.
Well, as you know, judo is practiced on 2, platforms. One is kata, which is a formal demonstration of techniques. Within the international arena and international championship, there are 5 major katas, which is Nagano kata, Katamino kata, Kimino kata, Goshin jutsu, and Judo. Your Nagano kata or Katamino kata, we call the Randori no kata, which is what we teach the youngsters, and also for your show dance. Nagano kata is important because it contains all the throws and grappling techniques for a judoka to participate in a contest, which is the other part of practicing judo, which we call Randori. So what you see behind me, for example, that flows out from Randori, which is basically a combat event, where kata is a formal demonstration. What we saw earlier was a demonstration of the first 2 sets of Nagano kata. Nagano kata consists of 5 different sets. The first set being executed with the hands only, second using your hips, the third using your legs, And then the last 2 sets, what we call sacrifice techniques, is throwing people falling on your back and then throwing people falling on your side. The youngsters, we group them so that they can start early with Nagano Kata, the first set being the hand techniques, and that's what we saw from these two, was the hand techniques and the hip techniques.
The judo contest is decided in a number of different ways, with throws and hold downs among them. The younger judokas, though, are restricted to certain moves to get their results, as Gert tells us.
Within the contest arena, for youngsters, they are only allowed to throw a person, and there are about 67 different techniques from which they can take their pick, and about 21 hold downs, which they can take their pick. So they're only allowed to do the safer part of judo. Safer, not saying that judo is dangerous, but we do not allow youngsters to strangle or apply an arm lock on each other. So only throws and only hold downs. Once they get older, they will be allowed to do strangulations, and you're only allowed to attack, in that case, the throat area, and then arm locks, which only allowed to attack the elbow area. No other types of locks are allowed within judo.
Like so many lower profile sports in South Africa, judo is not offered at many schools. So aspirant judoka find their way to the mat through many different avenues. But most have a familiar and similar goal: to reach the biggest event of them all.
I thought it was like something, it was my dream. Because I wanted to fight Olympics. That's why I came back, and my sensei told me that I must come back, and because maybe I can come into Olympics and stuff.
It's a family sport, so since from a baby time. So my first fight was 4 years old, so yeah, from little.
Well, my dad did judo when he was in Holland, and he went all the way up to black belt, and the first school I was at, they gave judo there, and that's how I sort of got into it. And then from then on, I just started fighting judo like that.
To be honest, when I find it out that I'm visually impaired, and then they sent me to a school here in Cape Town, in Bellville South, that is called Athlone School for the Blind. When I came there the first day, I was still young. I think I was in grade 4. So they showed me this sport, and then they just gave me a key, put me in the mat. So I just did I followed what the people was doing there. And then I found it interesting to me. Then I started to enjoy it, because I started when I was young. In my time, I thought I was playing, but when I get older, that's where I found it out, wow, this is a nice sport for me.
Although there are national and international events every year, it's the Olympic Games, held every 4 years, that holds the biggest attraction for all the young athletes. So what are the major elements they need to focus on to attain that goal of following in the footsteps of Patrick Trezise in Beijing in 2008 and Zach Piontek in Rio in 2016?
You need to work hard. You need to practice every day, and you need to fight You need to fight South Africans, and you need to win South Africans. You need to fight world champs. All of that judo stuff, and like I said, it's not impossible to become an Olympic player.
I really want to go to Olympics one day for judo actually, but first I have to get to the Africa Games and maybe Junior Olympics or something like that.
Once you've completed the provincial trials, you go to the SA Champs, and at the SA Champs, if you come first in your age group, I think it's first to third, you get asked to go into the national team, and from a certain age group, they take you to the Commonwealth and places like that when you're in the actual team.
As we've learned, judo is so much more than a sport in which two athletes compete against one another on the mat. Lessons learned through the discipline and skills in judo can be applied in everyday life.
You build your character, and discipline, it's good, and when you lose, now to act, to learn losing, you can win, they're always winning, and so yeah.
Well, I mean, judo is a lot of fun, and it isn't really that painful if you know how to do it properly. If you know how to fall properly and to throw properly, you don't really get hurt so much.
I really enjoy judo. Judo is my most intense sport at the moment. And my dream is definitely going to the Commonwealth or the Olympics or something like that. And if I train hard enough, I think I would most probably be able to do that.
Judo is a nice sport, first thing. It teaches you respect, and every sport does that. But Judo even makes you it also makes you like to be a better person in life, so that you can know you have to be respectful all the time. You have to respect yourself before you respect the mat, because you know most when you're entering the mat, you have to bow first. Then it's like you're respecting the mat. That means you have to respect yourself before you respect the Judo. So it gives me to have that motivation of respecting myself. For being visually impaired, it means we can't see properly, right? So that means for me, it's nice to be visually impaired and have a competition with people who can see better than me, because that's where I gain much more Judo, because I get the feeling of Judo and the movement of Judo. So for me to do Judo, I don't just use my eyes. No matter I close my eyes, I can feel there's someone that is around me. So that's where I learn to fight, even when I'm fighting with the visual impaired guys. That's why it sounds as if we are good or better. We're not that better. It's just that the more we fight with the normal people, is the more we get the feeling of being in Judo as a visual impaired people.
Some 96 judoka across a multitude of age and weight categories from 10 different clubs took part in the Western Cape Judo Championships. Congratulations to all the winners and good luck at the National Championships in June.